Well, the word cancer evokes fear, quite frankly, in most of us, whether we get the diagnosis ourselves or a loved one is told the news. But there are some things we can do to slow the progress of the disease and to prevent it in the first place. In our ongoing series, Fighting Cancer Now, we're talking with Lynette Bisconti, president of the Gateway for Cancer Research, and Carolyn Lammersfeld, vice president of Integrative Medicine for Cancer Treatment Centers of America. Welcome, ladies. Morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you.
Glad to have you here in our Balancing Act kitchen. I know we're going to be whipping up some delicious dishes here coming up in just a couple of minutes, but the great thing about having segments like this is we can talk about health. And I know that lifestyle can contribute to overall good and bad health. But does that mean that we can actually take some steps to improve our chances of avoiding cancer, Lynette?
Absolutely. There's a lot that we can do to help maintain our health, and nutrition is one of those things. According to the National Cancer Institute, up to 35% of cancers can be prevented, and in women,
35%?
35%. And in women, it may be as high as 50% of cancers that can be influenced and prevented using nutrition and lifestyle changes alone. It's huge.
It is huge.
Huge. Absolutely. And if you have cancer, up to 20 to 40% of cancer patients don't die from cancer. They die from malnutrition. So nutrition plays a role in preventing this disease and plays a role in the treatment of this disease as well.
You know what? I think if people watch nothing else in this segment, that bit of information I think is crucial. And so when we talk about specifics, then what are some specific things we can do to avoid the disease?
Well, I will toss it to Carolyn, who is the expert on nutrition, but basically a lot of color and eat the right foods.
A lot of color and eating the right foods. All right, Carolyn, take it away.
In addition to that, one of the most important things you can do is follow a diet and activity plan that allows you to achieve and maintain a healthy body weight. Next to tobacco and alcohol, being overweight or obese is the biggest lifestyle risk factor for developing many cancers. So one way you can achieve that is to try and move towards more of a plant-based diet, eating more fiber, which will help you feel full if you need to lose a little weight. But fiber may lower your risk of developing colon cancer, breast cancer. Whole grains, for example, fruits and vegetables, beans, all contain fiber, but also many what we call phytochemicals, nutrients that have anti-cancer activity at the cellular level. Eating less fat, particularly animal fat from meat and high-fat dairy products, and the type of fat we find in processed foods. So eating less of that and trying to go meatless once a week, and eventually increasing that if you can.
You know, it's interesting because when you say that, it sounds like a lot, but it's not that difficult. No. It really is just kind of small steps you can take on the road to better health. And you should know, because you've written this terrific book, right? It's called Wholesome Temptation. It was created especially for cancer patients and their caregivers. We have some terrific examples of recipes from that book. Can I tell you how delicious this looks?
It does.
I mean, this looks amazing. Walk me through what we have here.
It tastes wonderful too. The first dish we have is a Moroccan cod, which is full of color, as Lynette mentioned, and flavor. We like the cod for its easy to digest protein, but it's also a good source of omega-3 fatty acids, which are nature's anti-inflammatory. They can actually help people being treated for cancer maintain their weight and muscle as well. We like the chickpeas in there. Again, the beans are a source of fiber. They also have several different phytochemicals in them that have anti-cancer activity, as well as the tomatoes, which are very powerful antioxidants.
Absolutely. Love it. I love it. You know, as we move on here, I want to talk a little bit about your organization, the Gateway for Cancer Research, because you really are so involved in helping to educate patients about the importance of exercise, the importance of diet, and keeping their overall health. And this is all lifestyle changes, little lifestyle changes that people need to make, right?
Absolutely. At the Gateway, we fund cancer research to help cancer patients feel better, live longer, or be cured today. And the role of complementary and alternative therapies, including nutrition, is critical, and we need good research in those areas. So we fund research in those areas as well. And we're funding right now a study at Sloan Kettering in vitamin D. What we know about vitamin D is if your levels are low in colon cancer, your outcomes might be poorer, and pain and fatigue might be greater. If we can just supplement with vitamin D, your outcomes might be better, and you might be able to ease the pain and fatigue associated with the disease. So we're funding that study now. It's important to know that. These are less toxic treatment options and things we all can do.
I think that's wonderful that you said that, things we all can do, and little things we all can do, including diet, as we continue here with these wonderful recipes that we have here. Did you make this?
I didn't make it
I'm
today.
joking. I know you didn't. I know you didn't. It looks great, though. What is this?
This is a Mexican lasagna, so this is one example of how you can go meatless. We have whole grain tortillas, which again gives you fiber and many phytochemicals to protect you at the cellular level. We have beans in here, tomatoes as well. This is very easy to make. It holds up well the next day for lunch, so you can get 2 meals out of one.
I love that. And then we've got another example of beans here, which, as you said, were wonderful.
Yes, wonderful for you. This is a black bean soup. This can literally be put together in 10-20 minutes.
Really?
So going meatless doesn't involve a lot of work. Again, we have the beans in here. We have tomatoes again for the antioxidants. Another easy way to go meatless.
And something that we do every morning just because we love it. Dun, da, da, da. Who doesn't love it, right? Oatmeal.
Absolutely. And then actually, this is a little twist on oatmeal.
Okay.
This is actually a spiced quinoa. Quinoa is a grain that many of us aren't familiar
I love
with.
quinoa. Yeah.
Popular in South America.
Yeah.
But again, it's a little twist on oatmeal, high in fiber. It has a couple phytochemicals in it that are cancer protective. Throw some blueberries in there. You have one of the best sources of antioxidants to protect your cells.
Oh, isn't it great to know that something as simple, I guess, as changing what we eat can have such a tremendous impact on our overall health, whether, we have cancer ourselves or we know somebody who does. It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Wonderful, wonderful information, ladies. Great to meet you, Carolyn.
Nice to meet
Good
you.
to see you again,
Nice
as
to see you,
always.
too.
Lynette, love having you here.
Thanks.
And if you'd like the recipes to these and other healthy dishes, simply visit the website demandcures.org. And coming up in our series, we'll talk to Dr. Edward Lin. He is a cancer researcher who works with modern day heroes, people who take risks every day just to survive.